Happy Wednesday, VV Nation. A lot of big things in the market happening today. We've got earnings, Federal Reserve, they're going to have the interest rate decision. Definitely make sure you check out. Me and Glenn will be doing a live stream for the interest rate decision, AMA, afternoon market action at 2 p.m. Now, before we get too far, I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Everybody can see me. Joey is out sick today, so we do have Clay helping out in the background today. So just give him a quick shout out. If you could just put the appropriate VV for VV Nation, just make sure you can hear me, see me. We'll give it just a moment here. The alert will be coming in at 11:32, so we're just about 1 minute away. So we'll give everyone a second to kind of, pile on in the room. But while we're here, while we're waiting, because I know you guys and gals usually take a minute, go ahead and start putting in stock symbols. We're going to try to break down as many stocks as we can get. We got about a half hour to an hour tops. But, all right, I see people making their way in. Excellent. Everyone can hear me. Everyone can see me. Now, before we start breaking down stocks, obviously I don't like to overthink it. And I see 3 red lights in the color guard. So probably not the best time to be buying, right? I know there's a lot of dips out there. A lot of people are interested in. And I am doing a video tonight on Apple's dip and Nvidia's dip. Now, I've done a lot of videos. I don't think I've ever made a 15-minute, I think it's almost 15-minute long video on just 2 stocks. So go into very, very in-depth chart analysis. Do look at a couple news stories, but really just want to take a look at the stocks here. Someone's got QSI. All right, so I did put in some crowd favorites. So obviously I always start with the homepage. Just to let you know, not the best time to be buying. If you jump in right now, aggressive, and you better be a trader because I would not be buying right now. We got interest rate decision, big earnings today. We're doing a live stream for. We have Microsoft, Meta. Tomorrow is Apple. So again, if you're not, if you're on vacation or if you're not going to be by your computer, especially if you plan on short-term trading, probably not the best day to be opening up positions. Now, all right, I do see the stocks coming in here. So let's just go ahead and go to the viewers tab. All right, I got some honorable mentions, and I can see, some of these stocks even appearing in the stock recommendations here. Yeah, I got some quantum. I know they're getting beat up. And I do have SMCI here. SMCI, we all know what happened, the news story, but no one's been talking about it lately, right? And, 30 and the 40s, I was thinking a little bit of a premium there, especially with all the, the drama they have. But now it's below $30, and it's actually up today. So that is on my radar. Not saying just go out and buy it today. All right, let me start typing these in. We got LAES, LIN, NIE. Let's see here. Ticker maps. What is ticker maps? Oh, you're talking about maps, the weed stock? Hey, funny story. My cousin out in California actually did the opening bell ceremony for the NASDAQ for MAPS when they got listed. Yeah, here it is, WM Technology. If it's the same, but yeah, there used to be a company called MAPS, as long as if it's pretty low price. Yeah, 137, that should be that stock. Again, this was a couple years ago, but interesting enough. Some of the family members bought MAPS. It took a big hit. It was a weed style. I wonder if I go over to the right, what does it say? Software. But yeah, their software looks at like weed shops and stuff. I don't know. I'll have to make sure. Let's see here. I'm going to type in these other signals. All right. Let's see here. SENS. All right. We got Oklo. VV, IoT. I do like IoT Samsara. It's tech, so it's probably getting hit today or this week in general, if I had to guess. We'll see if there's any kind of bottom fishing opportunities there. NVDL. Now, I'm not going to go over NVIDIA and Apple and such great details again tonight. 15 minutes on 2 stocks. You've watched my videos. I don't ever have, usually there's 10 stocks if I'm talking that long. I really break those 2 down on several charts as well. Several different charts. So definitely take advantage of that. We got Meta. Of course, we can talk about Meta. They got earnings today. Me and Glenn will be doing the live stream on earnings. We got AGO, SMR. Look at that. You guys are awesome today. I'm curious. How many people are watching this for the first time or don't have access to the VectorVest 7 software? The reason why I ask is because a lot of these indicators are proprietary. So if you don't know what these indicators are, please let me know, and we we always break them down first before we start going into stock charts. Let's see here real quick. We got Walmart. Let me add these real quick. We got a lot of stocks coming in. I do not hold LAES. I sold QSI. I don't know if you saw the shorts. It was around the holidays. I got like 2 bags out of QSI just because, obviously I had the word quantum in it. I know it's a drug company. They're trying to do prospects, with quantum computing, which honestly with these large scale models is perfect for the drug industry. And it was undervalued. That's the reason why I got Weemy here. Weemy was another one I was talking about. A hologram. Look at the value, 91 cents, price 93. These two may not be as exciting as Rigetti and Qubit. And obviously I know they don't, make or, develop, research these quantum computer chips, but they will benefit from the space here. LAES, I'm seeing good news about LAES across the board. The partnership, quantum resistant semiconductors, partnership with SpaceX. So a lot of big things here. We're going to put in ETH. eHealth. Interesting. Let's see here. Put in some more stocks. How many stocks we got? We got 20. Ooh. Says that I don't have the software. See, that's why I asked, just to make sure people don't ask. So we're going to go over these indicators real quick. Let's see here. We got Broadcom. Now, Glenn did a short on Broadcom yesterday, and not too many people watched it. But it's hard with the internet, It changed. When you say software, do you mean the mobile? Anything, the mobile app, VectorVest 7 on your desktop. I know we're releasing the beta version on the website, the web-based platform right now. We got IONQ. But just any of them, because they all use the same indicators, and I'm going to touch on them briefly. I've been using these for a while, so I don't overcomplicate things. So before I take any more stocks, we'll just talk about these indicators. And honestly, even the people using the software, I'm probably going to trick up a couple of you just by saying, value, relative value, not the same thing at all. If you look at Robinhood, it's a great example. It's overvalued, but yet RV is through the roof. I like Robinhood. I won't talk about it. You guys didn't talk about it. Beta win. The beta was released on the Tampa 2-day event. I'd have to see. Yeah, you take out the trial. The trial is 99 cents. The beta test, I think there is a limited number. It may be filled right now. I know we plan to expand that numbers. Obviously, we want as much feedback, before we release the software to anybody. All right, we got Tesla coming in here. Let me put that in. But the software, I like the software. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever told you guys this. The whole reason why I like VectorVest, I don't even say love VectorVest, is because my mom, I grew up in the recession of 2008. My mom was heavily invested in real estate and obviously had a stock portfolio. Her financial advisor screwed her. She was, in the rut for years. So I think, just being a good person, just trying to teach people. I don't go off the hype. I really try to educate people, try to keep on the right side of the trade. And I try to keep things simple. I get it. Most people, when they first look at the stock market, first see a stock chart, way too much. They think they can't do it. You can, just start simple and you can get crazy. If I got TradingView or not TradingView, Thinkorswim, I don't really use it anymore. It's too complicated. I don't need thousands of indicators. If you put more than 5 indicators on a chart, you're probably, and I mean technicals, not necessarily forecasted and technicals, because I will look at more than 5 there. You're really trying to convince yourself something you probably shouldn't be doing in the first place. Let's be honest about things here. All right, let's take a look at these. Price and value, right? Valuation. There's a YouTube video by Dr. Alito. Stock market cycles, common sense. It's not that exciting, but great math. The guy was a genius mathematically. The valuation formula, I love the valuation formula. You can see exactly, if stocks are undervalued, overvalued. Maps right here, undervalued clearly. I do like that. RV, relative value, does not look at value itself. Value is just what we currently feel the stock is worth. It's not a price target. It's not a projection. It's just what we feel the stock is worth in its moment. IESC, I think I added that. Let me scroll down the list here and make sure. We've got 24. We've got quite a few good stocks here, all over the board. eHealth, a lot of tech, a lot of quantum. No NVIDIA worry on Palantir worry. Current speculation, news driven, bought another 100 shares of NVIDIA at close on its worst day ever. Hey, I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at all. It hit my levels. If you ever watch these videos, I talk about levels kind of as pivot points, conviction points, that kind of stuff. VVN, that's the one. The ETHU, that's the 2 times 11. That one closed me out on the afternoon market action one. EXFY, sorry, I'm getting used to my new office setup too. So if you see some of my videos, not quite, the right lighting and all that stuff, I'm trying to put out information for you guys. So, only have so much time in the day, but, the lighting's getting better than it was last week. That's true. TEZM. All right, that's going to be the last one. We got a lot of stocks here. This one cannot even be found. Oh, TEM. Sorry. Let's see here. TEM. No. Close. TEM. I will say this. If you buy stocks this morning on this dip, you were a gunslinger. There's no if, whats, or buts about it. Think about it. We got the decision, Fed decision at 2 p.m., 3 red lights on the color guard. We got big earnings after the bell today, big earnings after the bell tomorrow. Just going to put that out there. Right? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I'm not going to try to predict what's going to happen, but I will say I'm probably more bullish than bearish overall, but there's going to be volatility. All right, let's take a look at, so we got price value, RV. So I'm going to break down these couple here because this is what really we focus on. These indicators, RV to CI, 0 to 2 scale, they are oscillators. Oscillation point being 1. Above 1 is favorable, below 1 is unfavorable, right? So RV looks at long-term price appreciation potential compared to an alternative investment, a AAA corporate bond, right? So bonds, the rate's pretty high, higher than they have been, right? This is a good indicator. Should I put my money in a bond? It's pretty safe, we know the stock market can be volatile. So this gives a sense, should I put my money in a bond or should I put in a stock, right? Because if it's not likely to outperform a bond over the next 1 to 3 years, and if it has a low safety rating like this one, probably not my kind of stock, right? So safety, this looks at things like price volatility, the company's longevity, but like debt to equity ratio, things of that nature, right? Not a safe rating here. Weemy hologram, not a safe rating as well. RT relative timing. This looks at the short-term price trend of the stock, right? If it's above 1, it's in an uptrend. If it's below 1, in a downtrend, right? And it can, pivot within those points, but it just gives you a general sense. Is the stock moving up? Is it moving down? And, what's the magnitude of that? 1.6? This thing's moving up, and pretty strongly as well. I don't even have to pull it up on the chart. We got VST, value, safety, and timing. This combines all 3 of these, does put more weight on the technicals. So this is weighted more than the other 2. These 2 are fundamentals. And that's how we get our overall value, safety, and timing rating. So, if you go to the stock viewer, the 9,000 stocks we're tracking in the database, they are sorted by this and this alone, right? So it puts, the best candidates, whether, they're fundamentally strong, just maybe got great technicals, or the combination of both. That's why I like the software a lot. Over here to the right, I did customize my layout. I like forecasted data, right? This, you can see the forecasted data. We got sales growth rate. What's the percentage likely of, the company, increasing their sales, right, over the next 1 to 3 years. And we got the earnings growth rate over the next 1 to 3 years as well. Our prior data provider was Reuters. I think we get as far as my knowledge, we get it right from the exchange. That's why we got invited over the summer. So the data, it's accurate, right? I mean, it comes from the New York, the NASDAQ itself. So I'm going to say it's pretty accurate. All right, Raj, I'm going to give you one more here. We got ETCC. I'm closing the, actually, oh, wait, no. What was it? What is this? Environment. I haven't heard of it. It's the only reason why it's getting added. So we'll take a look at it. I do like it. But yeah, that's the software in a nutshell. And if you take out the 99-cent trial, I don't sell the program. The program typically sells itself. Or if you new to the software, I know a lot of the veterans will know this stuff, but just simply right click on a stock. Honestly, you can do just about anything from that right click and just go to view full stock analysis report. If I scroll over here to the left, look at this. It just breaks it down. And that's the whole point of the stock analysis, power hour, half hour, whatever time. Because me and Glenn, I don't know why we put it on Wednesdays. We got a lot of, this is I got 3 live streams today. So I always just want to give you the definitions, how to utilize the program better. Because if you don't know what the definitions of these indicators are, if you don't know how to utilize them, well, you're probably just wasting a monthly subscription, right? Or you could be getting lucky. But yes, Linda, hey, appreciate that, Linda. Yeah, it's so easy to use the software. Especially if you're new to investing and you just need one central platform. Because trust me, I got Webull, I got Robinhood, I got Thinkorswim. I still utilize the VectorVest 7 software every day. And honestly, I like the graphs of the VectorVest 7 software better than, especially, like Webull, Thinkorswim. I use them the most on VectorVest just because of the simplicity. I'm a day trader. I can make changes to the graph. I don't need 2,000 indicators to, confuse myself, right? Again, if you think about it too hard, you're convincing yourself, do something you probably shouldn't do. All right, let's take a look at these. We got 28 here. We're going to graph them all. What graph layout do I have? Oh, well, clearly the only thing that matters. Well, I'm not going to say the only thing that matters, but my favorite indicator, value, the VectorVest valuation here. You see over to the right, I got some EMAs here if I want to spice it up a little bit. But other than that, I do use the Bollinger Band sometimes. This is Star Search. A prospect from Star Search. If you've been watching the channel, what I'm talking about here. It's a momentum indicator, help capture momentum, that kind of thing. Video fuzzy. Video might be fuzzy. Let me wipe off my camera here. That might be my camera. Is the video not fuzzy? I just want to make sure it's clear. So what are we going to do today? Spice things up. You know what? I'm going to use the Bollinger Bands. That's the 21. I don't know why they're blue. They're supposed to be yellow. Ugh. Well, I'm not going to change it right now. Actually, maybe I'll have to. We're going to do yellow, boom. Just make it easier. Yellow, boom.
Brian.
Yes.
No, your video's fine. Just tell them to click the cog in the lower right-hand corner of the video and change their quality settings.
Sorry, my partner in the background just wanted me to inform you that he checked the video quality. It doesn't seem too fuzzy. If you go in the bottom right of YouTube, there's like a clog there. You can change the quality. So maybe on a lower quality or refresh the page. Generally just another easy tactic. All right, let me make this one a little bit bigger here. Look at that's going to look nice here. Ooh. We're going to do forecasted data, earnings per share, growth rate, sales growth rate, value. Look at this. Let me go 5 years here. Because like I said, it's been a while. So, yeah, this is the weed stock. I was kind of thrown off because it said technology. But, yeah, it's an app. Just tells you where the stores are at. It was way up here. It's actually undervalued for once. The value's on the rise. Price action on the rise. I might have to call the family back because I know a lot of them were pissed about this dip. I told them, I was like, weed stocks. What's the saying? Could end up in smoke, right? But on a serious note, because I will probably call the family, let them know. Look at this. This is my favorite chart pattern. Hands down, favorite chart pattern. Very simple. Whether you're investing, trading, whatever you want to do. Value on the rise. Price action on the rise. Undervalue, right? Again, this isn't a price target. It's what we currently feel the stock is worth, right? So more often than not, what I see is these two like to converge, right? So I'd rather have value on top. So that means price action has to raise the value. Maybe meet somewhere in the middle. Who knows? Or this thing could take off like a rocket, hit up there. Especially, weed stocks. Who knows? There's, momentum behind there sometimes. Especially during, political seasons. Elections would be midterm elections. You're looking at 2 years. So, unless there's something in the meantime, maybe in 2 years, might be some. But you see here right around the election, November, started to take off since then. Again, that's why I say weed stocks typically influenced by elections. Oklo should be in the list because I've seen a couple people put it in there. I don't know if it was you prior, but a couple people in the list. So WEME, right? I like WEME. Look at this. This is what I was talking about. Undervalued, right? When I was talking or researching quantum stocks, things of that nature, it came in the list. It is on the quantum watch list. Undervalued. Look at this. We're about to approach it again. So why rush it? Let the market come to you. If you took this trade when I was talking about it being undervalued and it shot up to $3, if you didn't take no profit, what was that, 2 bags and a week maybe? If you didn't take no profit, I don't know what to tell you because shortly after, probably this day, we'll talk about more QSI. I literally put out a short talking about, selling covered calls, against these positions, after they shoot up like this, right? Deborah, thank you for brightening up the video. Always, Deborah, always. You always want to make sure you guys can, watch it and see it. I can only do so much. That's why, I got Clay today helping me out. Doing a great job in the background. But look at this. Hugging the bottom Bollinger Band. It is still overvalued. I have a feeling it's probably going to go undervalued probably relatively pretty soon. Come at it back then. If you are the buyer or just if you own it already, again, anytime you see a jump, sell a call. Like, obviously this probably would have been the ideal time. I think that's when I put out the video on QSI. We'll take a look at it in just a minute. But look, these little jumps, boom, call. Look, upper wick, boom, call. And, freehand line. If I do a freehand line, look at this. Stops right here. We got consolidation bottom. We got a wick from the, we got a candlestick here, open from the top, wick from the bottom. So resistance, rejection, boom. Probably here, same thing as these two right here, right? So again, you don't have to overthink it. It's just a matter of, looking at the candlesticks. Where do they touch? Draw a line, right? It's really not that hard. How do you take profits? Depending on what I'm doing, you have to understand 90% of my trading is day trading options, on tech. Majority of the Qs, AMD, Nvidia, Apple. So my strategy is going to be different, right? Where I would ask you to take profits, resistance levels like these here, but when you see rejections, right, sell a call. If I'm going to sell a call, for example, like if I see rejection, price, maybe down here by the time you really see some rejection, be just over 175. Yeah, maybe sell the 2 or the 250 strike, out of the money, right? And with the time, if I'm the seller, usually I want to sell these options, 30 days max, right? If I'm the buyer, I want more time. Obviously, I day trade options, and I day trade DOEs mostly or weekly. So again, to each their own. But as far as taking profits, trend line. If I'm just going to trade, and not do options and all that crazy stuff, look at this. I got a nice trend line here. Boom. If I got in under $1, even when I got out, it's $1.50, 50% rise, right? But the taking profit, you see, look, upper wick, huge down day, no buyers. This is your warning, right? That's why, again, it's up to you, but I let the candlesticks usually make that decision for me. Otherwise, I'm going to get out just based on, my prior plan, right? If I bought Weemy under $1, I'm thinking, maybe a bag or two, because I know quantum was hot. Hey, you got your bag or two. Maybe one bag, you sell a quarter or half your position, then you're playing with house money, right? Jumps up again. Hey, I watch the short on QSI and how I put insurance on my bagger. And that's what it comes down to. What you're risking with. VRT gap down, sell rating. I like VRT a lot. Here's the trend line. I'm just going to go extend it. Boom. Look at that. It's finding support on that trend line. I like that. The valuation, overvalued, value is not rising. It is. I treat this like a trade. If the value is not rising, I'm not going to look at it like an investment. Like this, like the quantum, I know I might get some crap for it, but like the quantum, I am short on. What are you short on, Deborah? What are you short? Short buy, short sell. Oh. Short term, then yeah, use trend lines. Use a 3 and 8. Use looking at like other 40-day, 200-day moving average. I would look at for maybe pivot points, because those are big moving averages to look at. But I'm not gonna day or swing trade or be a short-term trader on a 40-day moving average. It's a waste of time. Wings, I got y'all brain new ones. Let's go get it. There's no time to wait. And hey, there is no time to waste. But VRT, as long as it stays above this trend line here, you can see it. The buyers come in control. I like that. It's aggressive right now. It is in this, it is below the Bollinger Band here, so it doesn't qualify for star search, right? If you're in it, if you bought this dip, I'd put my stop probably yesterday's low wick, right around there, because if it drops any more, hey. But me personally, you might get a look at the values on the rise, price action on the rise for overall, but it is overvalued. So yes, I treat it like a trade. Again, look for the pivot here. And maybe just use 3 and 8 after that pivot. Trailing stop, something like that, help capture momentum. I don't see this necessarily as a long-term trade or investment. If I had to guess, probably shoot up here. You see the consolidation here. So look, we got the touch from the top, touch from the bottom. This zone here, again, I know I just put a line here for quick reference, but really treat it like a zone. Break above the zone for confirmation. It's a down day today. I got 3 red lights, and the Fed's about to talk. So no, unless you're just trying to shoot from the hip, why am I going to do it, right? All right, we got VV. Is the Vanguard. All right, take off value. That's not going to do us any good because it's an ETF. Lower left, top right. Hey, large cap fund, a lot of volatility in the market. If you want to be diverse, I am here for it. You're not going to get a whole lot of star search action on this just because, it's a large cap ETF fund. So you're not going to see, 2 major moves. So by the time, if you look historically, the lifespan in this fast lane here on top of this, Bollinger Band, pretty short-lived, right? We're just entering that now. So if I had to guess, you might get another little rollover, probably be pretty short-lived again. Oh yeah, of course, Deborah. But yeah, that being said, I got a double top here. Am I the buyer right now? No, I'm not gonna buy with all this volatility. It's 278 double tops, just above 280. You're a couple dollars away on a almost $300 stock. Yeah, I'd wait for some confirmation. Better than just giving myself a headache right before the Fed starts speaking. Tesla, again, look, it's hugging that bottom Bollinger Band, right? Last time it did that, see, it goes down a little bit. So no, I don't. And I've talked about this with Tesla. Look at the valuation here; it drops, right? Tesla, robotics play, their EV business. This market cap does not justify their EV business, especially obviously I know he's friends with Trump, but Trump, they're taking away a lot of these tax credits and stuff. You could do the research. China, buoyed on the rise. Lithium technology, even consumer demand starting to change, right? So until they get the robo taxis, the humanoid robots in the factories and stuff, then yes, I see that being huge potential. But right now, you're paying a premium for this stock. No ifs, whats, or buts. It's on a downtrend. If you just draw a line, freehand line, boom. Until it breaks that downtrend. Actually, look, consolidation, boom. And it's probably gonna break out of this pretty soon. Let's do 3 months. Yeah, you can see it here. It's tightening and tightening. Yeah, I'm not going to be a buyer right now. If you're in it, depending where you bought it, depends what your stop is. If you didn't sell close up here at 500, I'm not going to be necessarily in a rush to sell it. If we create a new swing low from this prior swing low here, yes, get defensive, especially if you got profits on the table. Protect profits, because right now over the next few months, unless we get updates on these robots or whatnot, I don't see Tesla as the play right now, to be honest with you. Look at it. If I go back to a year, look at it. Sales growth rate, 8%. Growth rate in earnings, -5%. There's a lot of other big companies out there. Even retail-friendly company, Palantir and stuff. I could probably see more potential than Tesla right now. But yeah, Tesla, I'm not a fan right now. TEM, hey, it's in the fast lane. It's way overvalued, so, it's got AI. It's probably why it's overvalued. Let's be honest about it. See Tempest AI, healthcare. So yeah, I do see the potential. Obviously, anything AI, quantum could be industry disruptor, right? But right now, valuation's telling me, hey, they're not making that money right now. Investors are just paying a premium. I see it in the fast lane, right? The Star Search Bollinger Band upper wick today. As long as it stays in that fast lane, I'm here for it. Once it breaks this fast lane to the downside, again, I'm using a 20 and 1, the standard deviation of 1, in a 20-day period, okay? So if it breaks below that, I'm taking stuff off the table. As far as level support, that's not the line. I wanted a horizontal line. That's it right there. I got the touch from the bottom right here, touch from the top, and another touch from the top from previously. I'd look at this as a zone, obviously. If it retested this, hey, is what it is. Again, if it pulled back, broke this, take some off the table at least, see what happens. if there's a retest. Otherwise, it's sideways trading right now. We get a breakout either way. Time will tell. Linda said I sold Tesla a month ago. Linda, I said it in a video, I think last week or the week before, where Tesla was it buy the election, sell the inauguration. So if you took that advice, I guess I think that was a week or two ago. Hey, is what probably saved you some money. Here we got SENS. Clearly, I looked at this before. You see, look, broke above it. It's retesting this trend line. If we find support here, this thing might just jump off to the races. I'm gonna be honest with you, because that's probably what it's looking for, and it's gonna need it's retesting it several times, but it's going to need to, form its own new trend line here. This isn't not that sustainable. 3 months it went from, 20 cents to over $1. But so yeah, this is the level I'd look here. See what it does. If we get clear break, I'd be getting defensive, taking some profits off the table, right? Because don't come at me saying, hey, it's only $1. Well, we only value it. What is the value here? 4 cents? No, this is I would not treat this like an investment. If I go to 1 year, earnings per share on the rise, growth rate decline, sales growth rate decline. No, treat it like a trade. You see the trend line here. That's why I'd be focused on. Honestly, you could probably draw another trend line here. And if it does break this, that might, find a level of support there. But as long as it's in the fast lane, hey, ride it out. If it drops below the fast lane, is what it is. All right, here's LAS. This is a stock I've talked about quite a bit, so let's talk about it. These are my levels. Hey, these levels have been here since I started talking about this stock. So you can see, look, shot up, boom, big upper wick. I had these here, and if I go to 1 year, there's a reason why I had those. Yep, that's the reason right there. Boom. See, I always go off historical. History likes to repeat itself. I studied history a lot. Studied political science a lot, international business. Studied a lot of random things. Let's see here. Dateline. That's what I'm looking for. Duh. Boom. So, look. That's where the resistance came in. Again, that's where I would have sold my calls. If you didn't think, hey, what did this stock do previously at these levels? Why would you not think about that, right? So, let's go back 3 months, see what it does now. Hey, it's coming back down this level right here. Let's see what it does. But it's hugging this Bollinger Band. So no, I'm not going to be bullish on this, right? If you're holding it, I'd be getting more defensive. But look at the valuation. The value is only 24 cents. So again, trade. Don't think that this stock is worth $3.36. I know the news. I've done the stories on it. I like it. I see the quantum resistant semiconductors, because that's, if you watch my video, that's usually what I specialize in, is semiconductors, right? And now my phone knows I like this stock, so I always see the articles pop up. I do like it. I like it better around $2. Do I think it's going to go back to 24 cents? Unless the sentiment of quantum stocks really just, doesn't do well. No, I don't see it going back to 24 cents. Hopefully some of these partnerships with, SpaceX, I know they're doing things with the UAE, some defense projects, countries around the world. Hey, until that valuation starts to, rise, maybe I don't need it to be $3. Even if it goes to 50 cents, maybe 70 cents, see a nice rise there. I'm going to treat it like a trade and just know that it's hyped up right now. Here we got IoT. I've been talking about IoT forever. I like IoT. If you don't know what IoT is, it literally is what makes dumb things smart. Like your toaster, your refrigerator, right? You notice how everything has got computer chips, it links to the Wi-Fi, makes it smart, right? That's called IoT, Internet of Things. I've done videos on in the past. No one watches it, so I'm not going to do IoT video again. But hey, you see the move here. Look, these levels, I didn't just put these here. They've been here. You can see the consolidation. Obviously, that would have been the time to buy. Off to the races in the fast lane by recommendation. Yeah, I like it as a trade. Look at the valuation. Doesn't matter how much I like the company. It's way overvalued right now, $10. Or the valuation like $6.53. Look at the distance there. Vistra Corp. It's not helping my wife. Oh, Tom. Stop. And I think I know how you meant that joke. Oh, yeah. Does she say the same thing about you, Todd? I bet she might. Like, when's that IoT gonna come into play, Todd? All right, but that's IoT. I see it like a trade, and honestly, I haven't watched it. Probably in a week or two. Like I said, there hasn't been much hype on the internet, and obviously I try to get views and stuff to get the message out there. Maybe I should do it on it. You know, put a 1 in the comment section if you would be interested in another IoT video. If I get a lot of 1s, hey, we'll ride with it. If there's not a lot of 1s, we're just gonna move on. But right now, I like to trade, like to buy recommendation. Hey brother, how are you? What do you think of Weemy stock? We will get to Weemy because Weemy. Yeah, I think we haven't done Weemy. We did LAS, so you're in time. You didn't miss it yet. IoT Rigetti. Here's Rigetti. Here's Rigetti. Again, these lines, I don't just I keep them here. I don't like take them off and put them on stuff. So you see, the buyers came in right at this level of support here. I'm not too surprised. Just we're seeing rejection here because look, there's a bottom wick, 2 bottom wicks here. And probably a lot of consolidation right in here. Boom. That's the resistance zone I see. We can see rejection there right now. Again, this is a trade. Don't think it like anything. Don't think it's not. Look at the valuation. We got one little creep up here to 65 cents. The stock's trading for $13. So again, Troy, I got into IoT and waiting to see. Hey, IoT is important because IoT is the reason why NVIDIA is so popular. AMD, all these semiconductors. Because if it wasn't for IoT, we wouldn't need to put semiconductors in every little thing that we own. I even saw, was it a smart mouthwash dispenser? Yeah, I know. So as time goes on, you're literally going to see these computer chips and everything. That's why, normally computer chips are very cyclical with PC, personal computer demand. But now their demand is on all kinds of things, not just PCs. And I do see the interest in IoT. So yeah, I might, that'll probably be coming out soon then. And maybe I had to put on a twist with it, throw AI or quantum so I can get some people to watch it. And honestly, they all 3 go together. So maybe that's the video. But as far as Rigetti here, let's just do a freehand line. We broke the upper trend. Support coming right around here. My cutoff, I don't know if you're in it or whatnot. I'm going to say around 10. I mean, that gives you about 30% leeway. So, and if you're already in it, I know you got to give it some wiggle room to run anyways, because this thing it moves, right? So, unless you're ready to, diamond handed, as I first say, this is not for the faint of heart. All it takes is, one story, one CEO to come out and say quantum is not here again. And, who knows what will happen. But all these stocks are overvalued. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because these companies are going to change the world. Think about it with China. We're in an AI race. When do you think the quantum race is going to start? It's already starting. Yeah, just think about that. So, yeah, these companies, they ain't going nowhere. But you are paying a premium right now. QSI. I know a lot of talk about QSI here. Again, I did the video. Why? Because it was undervalued here, right? It's got the word quantum in it. It actually utilizes quantum. Yeah, I know it doesn't make quantum computer chips. I don't need that comment anymore in the section. But look, it popped up, right? I put my call in it somewhere around here. It started to pull back. I closed it all together just because the stock was only 140 minus the option. I don't know. I closed around 300 because with the option, I got minus 80. So I think it was $80. Yeah, I got it down to like 70, 80 cents my cost. And then it sold it, made them out. So again, this is how you could, so it shoots up, right? If you don't want to sell your quantum stock, you're a holder or tax purposes, and it's going to do this all the time, sell some calls against it, right? Especially going 100. That's the whole reason why I bought 100 shares, right? Because I knew it was volatile, and I didn't want to be in a volatile stock without the ability to put some options on there, right? So, and it's cheap, right? So if you don't even know what a covered call is, if you've never done an option trade before in your life, this one probably not a bad one to just mess around with. And the reason why I say that is because the stock is cheaper. Actually, this may not be the best because the volume's not there. I started with Ford. because it was like $8-9 at the time and it had large option volume. I didn't really too much know about hitting a home run or anything, but I really just wanted to understand the mechanics of my broker. Because if you don't understand that stuff and you place an option trade, just don't do it. That's all I'm going to say. Just don't do that. But QSI, hey, it's approaching my level here, 187, 176. So yeah, I do see more downside potential. It's hugging this bottom Bollinger Band here. I want to see if there's a pivot here, right? Honestly, I'd like to see it to go back under valuation, see if I can find a nice pivot under valuation, and probably going to do the same thing I did before. Buy the call or buy the stock. Wait for a good pump or, quantum to be hot again at some point this year. Sell the call on the pump, right? Hey, that's my strategy. I mean, what you do with that information is what you do with it, I'm not telling you what to do. Here we got Qubit. Look at it. It's hovering right at my levels here, 886, 698. It's at $10. Again, these quantum stocks, you essentially got to have diamond hands because, a 10% trailing stop, you're just going to get knocked out and give yourself a headache. Bottom of my level here, which is right around the last swing low. And if it gets, close to the swing low, or it looks like it's going to break it, that would be my first warning signal to get out. But yeah, we're not in the zone yet. I'm seeing buying pressure here. Look, bottom wick, a little doji right now. We'll have to see what it does. But if it gets back in the zone, definitely be concerned about it. I mean, obviously it broke its little upward trend that I had going on for a little bit. But yeah, that's about it for Qubit. I mean, again, it's overvalued. I do like the sales growth rate, 102, growth rate 12. But again, just like Rigetti, just like some of these other, top quantum stocks, I get that this technology will change the world. And I get that, countries will literally be trying to, get this technology as quick as possible. But, we will see. IoT will be benefited as a user of AI. It most certainly will. AI, quantum, IoT, it's going to blend together. And I'm probably going to be doing a video on all three. Because when I did IoT before, I think I got like 1,200 views. No one was really watching it. But you saw IoT, the stock. I think that was like last summer. So, you just look at the chart. You can tell how well it's done since then. And it's not going anywhere. But yeah, as far as this one, overvalued. I don't like it. The Bollinger Band is trying to hug that. Just see what it does at this level here. And I'm not going to speculate. I'd like to, maybe get back down here. Nice pivot. But whatever pivot I have to have, it's got to be higher than the last swing low, right? Because this swing low right now is lower than the prior swing low. So that's not a good sign. I'm just being honest with you. But if it really breaks the zone or enters a zone, yeah, or call, covered call, sell a call. I don't know how many shares you have. But again, be defensive. Oklo. It's struggling to be in the fast lane. Let's see what the forecasted data's got. EPS on the decline. Growth rate on the decline. Sales growth rate flat. It's actually negative. Utility, electric. The valuation's flat. It's actually on the decline as well. And then I get it. Utility, defensive, energy, all these data centers are going to take a lot of energy. That's probably why, it's taken off here. And I know there's other news stories. But again, I'm going to treat it like a trade. Oh, no, not going to do that. Boom. There we go. What does that look like? Might have to make this a little bigger, but what does it look like? In case you don't know, it's an ascending channel, right? Yep, that's an ascending channel. So yeah, as long as I'm a buyer at the bottom of this channel, with the cutoff here, hopefully, you get pivot back to the upside. But next time it goes up to the top, or just in general, selling towards the top of this channel, taking profits off the table, that's your best bet. You see the rejection here. If I had to guess, it's probably not over yet. It might go up again. We'll see. But it's not in the fast lane. It's losing that fast lane. Oklo is not producing until 2027. So yeah, I don't know the story about Oklo. I keep hearing people talk about it. It's just not a stock I've done a lot of research in. The only thing I know is it's way overvalued. EPS decline, growth rate negative. Nothing good fundamentally. Treat it like a trade. You got an ascending channel, right? So the goal is, as long as it stays in this channel, you're going to be a buyer at the lower end, seller at the top end, right? Don't overthink it. If it breaks out to the bottom, hey, become bearish, right? That would be my guess, especially since we're only valued at $2. And apparently Linda in the chat saying it's not going to be producing until 2027, right? So it's all hype right now. It's all hype. Don't treat it as such. Don't fall for it. And yeah, you can make some money here. There's no doubt about that. SMR, nuclear power. I did a video on nuclear power last week. There's some issues with that. I like it. It's not in the fast lane. Way overvalued. EPS on the decline. Growth rate negative. I don't like it. I would treat it more like a trade. If I use a freehand line, let's see if it's keeping the trend. That's the trend. If it breaks this, protect profits. If it breaks it, who knows? But probably some consolidation here, maybe here, but easily you get back to $10, I think. Depending on the news, right? Obviously, it's shot up. Something's going on here, but it's not supposed to produce till 2027. At least, Linda. Linda, do you own Oklo? Is that why you know about Oklo? But yeah, I'm not a fan. But as long as it stays above this trend line, yes, remain bullish, remain disciplined. Here we got Nicholas App Leg. This is a close. This is interesting. Let's take all value. Close-ended fund. Bottom left, upper right, again, just make it easy. Look at it. I got 2 touches right there. I don't know where you bought it at, but that's going to catch up to you real quick. You bought it 21. Maybe protect profits. It breaks here. Star Search, this really isn't going to apply to this stock because it's not a high momentum stock. If you want to trade it, typically Star Search here, it's got a couple good runs overall, but more often than not, it's pretty short. Wouldn't be swing trading this at all. Yep. Short. Oh, you're short, Linda. Okay, Linda. I feel you on that. And hey, you're short in an ascending channel. Just know that. That's all I'm going to say. Just know you're short in an ascending channel. But, we've had several touches, so, that run could run out. But this one here, easy play. As long as it stays above this trend line, I'm in it. For confirmation, take out the prior high, even this last one here. Because if we get we got a higher swing low, if we get a higher swing high, that is the definition of an uptrend, right? So I am a buyer in an uptrend. We got to flow through these because it is, what time is it? 12:18. Oh, we got to kill these. Meta breakout. I talked about this earlier this week. Actually, Friday. I was kind of mad. I knew I should have played those weeklies on the. Well, it would have been in DOE, but instead I decided to play the Qs. Yeah, didn't do too well. No, I am holding it short. Oh, not shorting it. Gotcha. Short, I put stock out to you. Gotcha. As far as this, let's see your dateline. Buyers. I like Meta. This is all it worries about. Valuation. It's an undervalued Mag 7 stock. People talking about Microsoft overvalued. It's Meta and it's Google. I think I have to look at Amazon. But I got my mom in Amazon, so I can't be mad. But she's in at 115, and I got her a bag since last year. So yeah, hopefully she's happy. But Meta, I like it. On the rise, buy recommendation. Let's go to 1 year. The forecasted data on the rise. They're rolling over, but I was looking at Apple and Nvidia. They're also rolling over. Still double digits, 24, 19% respectively. And they got big things. They got Web3, which I don't know if it's a decentralized internet, essentially. Linda, I like Meta. I like Amazon and Google. I'm going to tell you right now. Bill, Google is actually my Mag 7 pick of the year. That was like one of my first videos. I like Google. Everything I have is Google. I use the web browser. I use the phone. Of course, I'm going to like Google. But Meta, look at this. Value on the rise. Price action on the rise. What is that? My favorite chart pattern. Of course I like it. Still undervalued. Yeah, you're buying at a high right now. We all know that. But hey, it is what it is. It's still a good company. Lynn, I'm going to take value off because it's distorting the candlesticks. We can already tell it's overvaluing. Look, pivoted right off this consolidation here in the back. You see the pivot right here. Off to the races. Yeah, I want to stay above this line. You see that bottom wick there? I'm going to put right here at my cutoff. My cutoff will be about 425 on the down end. But I really want to see it get back, stay above this 437 level here as I see this as, liquidity zone. I see this big wick here. Amazon overvalued. Okay, it is overvalued. That's what. I still like Amazon. I'm not gonna lie. But as far as valuation, in my pay, obviously Google's been one. And Meta, I've been talking about Meta since $300-$400. So I don't know if that helped you. Hopefully, some of you guys have been watching this me that long. But I've been talking about forever. When I went back to Meta, that value price action on the rise a while back. That's what got me interested in it. But this one here. We're in the fast lane. We're struggling to be in that fast lane. I mean, there's a lot of, I'll put a zone here. We're not quite out of that zone. But if you want some real conviction, you got to get into the 440s. We're in a resistance zone, I would say, as of now. So, no, I'm not going to be a buyer. If you see any kind of rejection here, I can't tell you what to do. But, in my playbook, I would be more worried about protecting profits than, buying more. LIN, long hold as they started doing hydrogen. Oh. So it's a news-driven story. Okay, earnings on the rise. I mean, let's go to 5 year. What's it been doing in 5 year? Hey, look at that 5-year chart there. I know it's been struggling right now. But this sucker might be ready for a breakout. Look at this. Look at the valuation. Let's see what the valuation here. It always trades at a premium, so it's nothing new. But value's on the rise, price action's on the rise. I like it. Obviously, I like it undervalued, be preferred, but that's just not the situation we're in right now. So I can live with it because value's on the rise. Again, like Palantir, I've called Palantir out. I know it's a big name, but if I don't see value on the rise, I call it, at least my opinion, and the VectorVest 7 opinion, it's hype, And I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen that valuation on the rise. I see all their contracts, the news of it. IONQ. IONQ is right up there. IONQ, if you don't know, again, game changer. They're based out of Maryland. Maryland's governor so pro this company, or they're trying to turn Maryland to like a quantum headquarters of the world kind of thing. You know what's next to Maryland? Well, actually, Virginia, right? Maryland, Virginia got a whole lot of government agencies, a whole lot of secretive stuff, and I'm not surprised that IONQ is right there in the middle of it, right? So. Just don't sleep on IONQ. I know it's overvalued, but it's got a lot of big things in the picture. You see my levels here. We're way above these levels, so I like that. Kind of stagnant right now. But hey, compared to that high and all the volatility in some of these stocks, we're not that far from that high. So, again, the market has decided this is where the price is at, right? But on the valuation standpoint, hey, and if their technology comes out, and, again, quantum computers are going to change the game for everybody. Yeah, I see that valuation on the rise pretty quickly. Here we got IESC. This is a building company. I don't like this. Value on the decline, price action on the decline. And honestly, I'm not going to be bullish real estate or building this the remaining of the year. Just not going to do it. I'm seeing too many stories about, existing home sales fell to like a really long low. I'd have to go in the news story. I wasn't really prepared to talk about real estate. My mom been in real estate for all her life. So I know about real estate. I know the value of real estate. Do I think there's going to be some crash? No, not really, depending on what market you're in. But again, we buy and sell real estate with my mom. The time of just putting a price on a house and it being sold, that's over. People got to be realistic about pricing a house now these days, because I'm seeing, slash 10, 15,000 here, 20, 25,000 there. And I'm in Charlotte, a hot market, right? I'd hate to see some of these markets in the rest of the country. So again, I'm not going to be bullish on it. And I don't even like the chart pattern. Obviously you see my level here. We retested it. We came down so quick to retest over the last few trading days here. I'm not going to get too bullish on it. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it broke below this and, next level is around 140. But it is undervalued. So as far as an investment, hey, maybe tiptoe in at this level, but I'm not going to go all in just in case it breaks this and, I get a better deal down here. I'd rather see some kind of pivot, take out, maybe yesterday's high, something like that before just jumping in. But as far as real estate, not. Oh. It's not building houses. Oh, data centers. Okay, so like I said, I don't really mess with the IESC. I'm not going to pretend like I know. I just saw a building there. The data centers, I mean, yeah, it's probably going to pop off because, I mean, what are they talking about? $500 billion into data centers? Yeah, And if what you say, Adam, is true, because again, I don't just blindly buy or tell the VV community something I hear in a comment on the internet. But do your research. If this is building for the commercial data centers, obviously, I would look at which Mag 7 companies are looking for. What big contracts they've got out there for the existing data companies. Because I see the momentum there, but look at that big drop off. And again, these data centers, right? This whole DeepSeek thing. I don't know about the figures. Who knows what we can get in the figures? But this is in a space that is going to change so quickly and so rapidly over the next 2-3 years. And that's my concern about NVIDIA. And I talk about that in tonight's video, that you don't think there's going to be another industry disruptor in AI? What happens when the AI technology becomes useful and we'll get industry disruptors all the time? Because right now AI is just large language models, a very primitive beginning of AI technology. There's new data centers for government. Hey, I don't doubt that one bit. Again, the government's got a partner. Like right now, they partner with Microsoft and other. The reason I know that because I have an aunt on the board of directors for Microsoft, and congrats to her because that's an accomplishment. I'd look to see what contracts they got. But yeah, I'm just glad this isn't real estate. Someone didn't give me real estate. I'm not hot on real estate right now. NVIDIA, I'm not going to talk about it too much, especially this one right here, because this does not have my level set up. Because I usually look at NVIDIA, obviously the regular one. Watch tonight's video. Literally talk about this and Apple. 15 minutes straight, several different graph layouts, way more in depth than I've got time for right now. And honestly, the levels are still holding out, so I would check that out. But NVIDIA, it's a risky move. If you bought it yesterday, because again, I don't have my levels on here. I don't like looking at the ETF levels. I'd rather go off the raw. Look at my short from yesterday or short before. My levels ain't going to change. Look at those levels. Respond accordingly. That is going to be my response. EXE what? I'm going to write this one down. Grab my pen. Where my pen at? There I got my pen. I need my sticky note. I don't feel like Glenn here. I got sticky note. I guess I should have just typed it, but I'm getting old. I'm almost 40. EXFY. If I write it down, that means you should probably put it on your radar as well. Just going to say that. Reason why? Look at this valuation. Pew! Shot up. $1 to $4.50 in less than 6 months. If that doesn't get you excited, and it's undervalued right now, and you got a pullback, you got the dips. I know a lot of people don't like to buy the momentum. Hey, unless you're a trader, I don't blame you. But the nice pullback here, I like what I see. Obviously today, down day. I'm not going to be a buyer of it today. If you're in it, just look at this prior low here. If it takes that out, definitely be defensive. And honestly, that prior low is a pretty good, it's a pretty good consolidation zone here. You see that here. I like it. I like it from a valuation perspective. I had to do, some research on it, but I like everything about it. Yes, but breach with Microsoft with my name. Someone is using my name. What? Oh, yeah. Well, hey, you know what the breach is going to do? It's going to keep these cybersecurity companies, in check. Because, that's how I see, the escalations with China and the United States playing out. It's a tit for tat for cybersecurity hacks and, tariffs. I'd rather have that be the story than a war. Let's be honest there, because nobody wants that. And that ain't going to be good for nobody. So hopefully we get along and everybody can make some money. But right now, this stock, I like it. I wrote it down. That's all you got to know. Because this one, ETCC, go write this one down too. Like I said, you put all these little fancy indicators on here. I can do a VWAP or Fibonacci. I know how that stuff works. I just don't do it. Look at this. Way overvalued, right? Look at this one. This is what I'm kind of waiting for these quantum stocks, right? See how it's flat, flat, flat. Even Palantir. But when that money starts rolling in, and I'm thinking Palantir obviously sooner than later than some of these quantum, and we'll see how it plays. But look at this. Pew! Off to the races. I like it. And yeah, we've got a lot of price momentum here. Not a lot of volume. I could see these flat candlesticks here. So that would be my only thing. If you got a big account, this probably ain't going to be for you. But I do like what I see. Am I going to buy it today? No, it's dropping today. Consolidation here. Boom, somewhere in the zone. Hopefully we get a nice pivot. And look, we actually got top from right here. Oh, that's, what, 234 to 254. Yeah, 20-cent zone. I can live with that. Right now we're at 266. Have some patience. Let the trade come to you. Everybody wants to rush something, and guess what? That's how you lose money. Hell, this is what I thought it was Ethereum at first. Sorry. 1 year. Let's get a bigger picture here. Value decline, price action decline. So if my favorite chart pattern is the two rising, then yes, this would be my most concerning chart pattern, right? Value rising, price declining, right? But now look at it. Value and price shooting up. I mean, even with price action shooting up. Look at the value. Undervalued. 1059. The stock is undervalued right now. And honestly, I see some consolidation here. Probably maybe a flag. I don't know if it's a flag pattern, but look. Oh, wait. Wrong one. But you can see the flag here. Other than this little whoop-de-doo. I'll call it whoop-de-doo. This little whoop-de-doo. I'll call it. I sound like Glenn there, don't I? Look at it. Pew. You see the consolidation. I like it. If I get a breakup, my line's going to be somewhere in here. Yeah, if we do get a pivot down here, I'm looking probably somewhere in here. Be conservative one. Otherwise, if it breaks this, we got a big gap to worry about. All right, we're almost done here. We've been going through them. Broadcom, I don't like Broadcom right now. I mean, with NVIDIA taking such a big hit, I mean, it was Broadcom and AMD's time to shine, right? Ain't no shining going on. So, no, if I'm going to pick the three, I'm going to pick NVIDIA because it's still king of the castle right now, right? And look, it's way overvalued. And here's my levels way down here, 185, 165, maybe closer to that. We're in the gap. So that's not a good sign. I'm not going to buy something in the gap and we're trying to fill it to the downside. So no, don't think that's at all. Hell of a cup pattern. Todd, which stock were you talking about? Listen to Ryan's mom. DRV on NPI. That's Direxion Real Estate Bear, isn't it, Ross? And I'm trying to tell my mom this stuff. We got a condo to sell real quick. I'm trying to sell it before the pop. Then we're gonna have some cash on hand. That's how you make money. Have cash on hand when the market rolls over, right? Yes, sir. All right. Which one was the cup and handle? Ooh, that cup? Dry powder. DRV. All right. This one, that one. Broadcom can't get behind. This I like. Value on the rise. I know that the chart's not all that fancy, but look at this. We got green candlesticks for days. We got one candlestick in the fast lane. My favorite chart pattern. So, I ain't got to waste your time. This is the stock. Put it on your radar. Whoever gave me AGO, thank you. And VV Nation, you should thank them. Love that you like EXFY. I found that one on my own today and thought, doing some long calls. Peter, I ain't mad at it, man. I'm telling you. Right now, with everything going on, I am not in a position where I want to pay premium. If I'm paying a premium for a stock, it's probably a swing trade, right? Well, I'm not a long-term investor anyways, but if I was, I would do that. Because I don't see the, I got, I know enough where I can make, 20 and 30% an hour, if it's calculated right, rather than wait a week or two. And that's very aggressive, and I'm young, so I got time in case I mess up. Amazon, look at this, descending channel. That's why, oh, no, not how I want, that was a crooked channel. Boom, look at this. Retest, almost on that channel. Honestly, I was going to get defensive with my mom here, because again, she owns Amazon. That's probably the largest holding she owns. I recommended to her. I think it's probably about $15,000 worth now, maybe more. I don't know. There's a good chunk of money in it. She listened to me. It's paying off for her. But look, it's overvalued, right? That's why I was going to get defensive to her, because I was thinking maybe we'd have better opportunities here. But we did not, because she's not a trader. She's an investor, right? So I got to be a little bit more slow to react with her, because me, But her, we got the breakout to the upside. If we were going to break, this, I would have got more defensive. Right now, I'm bullish. I'm not concerned about Amazon. Ethereum. Oh, wait. No, slow lane. And Ethereum's, since the whole crypto buzz and, the reserves, all that good stuff, Ethereum just hasn't been there. Like, I closed out of it in my AMA. I had a 10% stop on it. Hey, I lost there. I'm going to tell you right now, as far as the ETFs, it's Bitcoin right now. I'm just, look at an Ethereum chart, because obviously you can tell by the ETFs it's in a downtrend. Throw on a downward trend line. Breaks that downward trend line to the upside. That would be my entry. It's just simple as that. Looks like Amazon will beat earnings, love. Hey, I'm not going to be surprised if Amazon beats earnings. Let me tell you about Amazon. Amazon ain't going nowhere. I'm going to rant for about 30 seconds. You're quicker to react. Oh, Deborah, why'd you delete it? Yeah, I'm quicker to react because she's an investor. I did catch that part, Deborah. Yeah, and that's why I have to. And you have to ask yourself the same question. This position I just bought, is it going to be an investment or is it a trade, right? And you got to handle it accordingly because it's two totally different things. Ryan, do you think Chairman Powell will provide bullish or bearish commentary today? I don't think we're going to get an interest rate cut anytime soon. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the only way we get an interest rate cut is if, some of these changes that Trump is bringing to the table, as far as tariffs, relationships, things like that, if those things create pressure, either in unemployment or inflation, it's the only way I see interest rate cut, even anywhere near the future, right? But as far as Amazon, everyone's got to shop Amazon now because of the prices, right? It's cheaper, and I don't have to pay for the delivery and the gas and all that stuff. Amazon it's been in the inflation play this whole time. I didn't even like Amazon. I'm using my sister's account because it's cheaper. Why am I going to spend more money? I would love to support local and small businesses, and I do when I can. But on a general basis, I'm on a budget just like everyone else. So yeah, they're going to go to Amazon. I don't see that changing. Temu. Was it Shein? I coined those as the Amazon killers. Honestly, I downloaded the Temu app. I hated it. It's like a little video game. I got spin wheels. They say I'm going to get all this money off. By the time I get to the register, $300, and that's when I deleted the app. Ryan, his commentary, no cut is 99%. Hey, I do see that. I'm not even talking about this cut. I'm talking about cuts in the future. Like, that stuff's off the table. The last thing we need to do is get this economy rip-roaring again. It's already rip-roaring. It doesn't need to roar anymore. Look at the housing prices. People are literally changing how they live, changing how they commute to work, where they stay based on inflation and the rising trends here. Boo, Temu. Yeah, Linda, I don't like Temu. But hey, I got a live stream with Glenn. Definitely check us out. We got the the interest rate decision. And this evening, we got a twofer. We got Meta. We got Microsoft earnings, right? So if you're holding these two positions, if you're thinking about even if you're holding the Qs or other big tech stocks, you probably should watch it because it's probably going to affect their movement, right? But hey, check us out. We're going to be starting here around 2 p.m. It's been going on for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm supposed to keep this to around 30 minutes. And you're putting money in the CCP's pocket. Well, Todd, I did not create the free trade agreement with China. And I go on a spur right now. Hopefully you're not a Democrat, because I am not a fan of Bill Clinton or the Clintons. Why? If you don't know, Walmart from Arkansas is based out of Arkansas, right? Well, what happened in the 80s and 90s to get Walmart started? Free trade with China. And I could call out both sides of the aisle. If you watch these videos, I'm about as politically neutral as it gets. I like to think logical, right? But yeah, so, again, hey, the U.S. consumers got to do what the U.S. consumers are doing, and they're saving money any way they can have. So on that note, I'm out of here. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you in about an hour and a half. Bye.